Okay, this is by no means going to be a complete teaching or anything on this subject, which is called Vicarious Bondages. And if you want the full teaching, go to Arthur Burke's website, sapphireLeadershipGroup.com, and you can get the whole teaching, and it's very, very good. But I've been running across this a lot lately, so I just thought I would send a short thing out and a prayer for you guys. So vicarious bondages happen when you come into an office, which is like office of presidency or office of husband, office of wife, office of pastor or pastor's wife. It can come into a job position, such as you're promoted as to vice president, and that would be a position. It can also affect groups, like if you're part of a cultural group, say you're American Native Indian, and you become affiliated with a group. It can also be something as common as your bowling group, or even a church group, young adult group, whatever. So what happens as soon as you come into those offices, or you join the group, or you take the position, you automatically, the position or the group or whatever has already been defiled by every person who's ever been in it, or in the job, or in that rank or leadership position. And any sins they've committed, any defilement that they've had on them has tainted that office. And so what happens when you come into that place, all their stuff comes on you. Probably the best example I can give is myself. When Ken, many years ago, almost 35 years ago now, became a pastor, I, of course, became a pastor's wife. And all the stuff that comes with that position, feeling like your husband, and most often that's true, your husband puts the church and everybody else ahead of you, and that starts actually happening, or that you have to fulfill a certain role, or that all the women in the church wish their husband was like your husband, and little do they know what he's really like. But all that comes into play, and it's detrimental to you. It will defile you. You'll start feeling these things, and you don't really feel that way, but it feels that way. Or that it will actually pull apart your marriage or whatever. Another example I can give is the president, our current president. Even though he's kind of a maverick and not been, he's been unlike certainly any other president we've ever had. When he took office, everyone who's ever had that office has defiled it in some way. And I was busy praying for him that defilement and those sins and the things that plagued other presidents wouldn't affect him. So as you're listening to this, maybe God is bringing up to you certain bondages. Okay, the really big one is actually, I deal with a lot of people who have been involved in pornography, and you have to agree to their terms and conditions. And and that was another one we did yesterday, and that puts you in bondage. But every person who has ever been to that website or looked at the same pictures that you've looked at, you have entered into bondages with those people. That is what's making pornography so widespread, because you're not just dealing with your stuff. You're dealing with everyone who's ever been at that website or that particular picture. So bear that in mind. This is heavy duty. So I'm going to pray right now, and if God's bringing something up to you, it can be the office of husband too, just plain husband, just plain wife. Everyone that's ever occupied those positions, all that defilement comes down to you. So Lord, I lift up everyone who's hearing this, God, and I ask that you would deliver them all from vicarious bondages that they have found themselves entrapped in from different roles they've taken, whether it be something as simple as husband or wife, or positions in business, or positions in the church, or even political positions, Lord, or various groups they've been belong to, Lord, from small little things like youth groups to big things, Lord, like racial groups or whatever. Lord, cleanse everyone from all vicarious bondages of all the various groups, all the various positions that they have been involved in their spirit, soul, and their body, their brain, their mind, their thoughts, Lord, and even how they relate to other people. In Jesus' name, amen.